All right, hello. I have some thoughts about Monday Night Raw. Let's talk about them. I have some notes here about the cast episode of Monday Night Raw. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Actually, so Jey Uso starts off Monday Night Raw, cutting a promo. He's saying he's gonna go for the World Heavyweight Championship. He's saying he's gonna beat Gunther. He's got the fans behind him. He's got the Yeets behind him. And honestly, I don't see Jey Uso winning it. I don't see Jey Uso taking this title. I like Jey Uso like as a person, but as a wrestler, I'm not too big fan of his work. It's a little sloppy, him and Jimmy, and I thought the promo was fine. He has pretty good promo ability. I don't think he's bad on the mic. I think just where it lies down to where his in ring work honestly could be improved a little bit. But Jay starts off the night cutting a good promo, and Gunther immediately comes out. Gunther's having none of this. He's like, "All right, man. I thought we talked about this last week. I thought we went through this. You come out here, you say all this shit, but you look like a dork. You look like a big ass dork, bro." He didn't say all that, but he did say he was a dork. He said he's a mascot. He says, "You're not like." He says, you're a funny little man, Jey Uso." I thought that was really fucking hilarious, actually. He says you are a useful idiot, and Jey Uso replies, "But the fans are my team." Well, he didn't immediately respond to it like that, but Gunther saying, "Hey man, you don't line up your words and your actions. Don't do, but mine do." Honestly, I feel like Gunther is just probably gonna smack the fuck out of Jey Uso. I don't see Jay really taking the win over Gunther and having him as champion. I feel like there's not really like anything beneficial having Jay as champion, or I guess that could plausibly lead into like another correlating storyline with the bloodline, or not even sure how that could even relate to anything. He's trying to do his own thing, but it's not doing too well, and in my opinion at least. I like Jay as a person, but as a wrestler right now, he's not doing too well. They brawl. Um, they do a little thing with the belt. Jay steals the fucking belt. He puts it down, and he's like, "All right, Gunther, come on, challenge me." He doesn't do it. New Day backstage segment with JBL, which I thought was pretty hilarious. Honestly, I like this whole thing that they got going with the New Day's whole betrayal of Big E, and like the stuff that they're doing with the people that they're encountering. Like how the previous week it was Dom, or other week it was Dom Nick Mysterio, and they're all like, "Bro, you know what we're going through. You know it. You've been there." I fucking love that shit. It's really funny because it's kind of like it's really putting into perspective for them. Like they don't think what they were doing to themselves, like between Kofi and Xavier, they don't think it's that bad, but to the other people, they're like, yeah, we might have betrayed our father, we might have betrayed our longtime best friend, but what y'all did was just fucked up. They brought him out, in front of everyone, and just executed Big E just in front of everybody, neutered him, stripped him. They made that man look like a straight up buffoon in front of everybody. And I don't know what else they're gonna do. I don't know if they're gonna have maybe him follow up Big E at least on the whole matter, because I feel like there has to be some type of, not a match, but some type of at least another confrontation, because I feel as the New Day, they can't really do anything as faces. They're a little too like, it's a little too played out by now, It's a little too drawn out by now. And we need some more action. We need them as heels, and that's a perfect spot for them to be. Um, because remember when they tried to expand New Day, and they tried to make some little beef, some little ruffling of the feathers between Kofi and Xavier when they tried to bring in Odyssey Jones, and that obviously did not pan out very well. But they have a little segment of JBL. They give him $2, which I thought was really fucking funny. They said, you're gonna call our match. We're gonna give you a little bit of a bribe. You know what I mean? Put us over out there for us, all right? um, and then let's see. Bailey, is that the backstage segment too, or is that my notes are discombobulated? Um, the Rey Mysterio. stuff happens. The Rey Mysterio match with Kofi Kingston I thought was pretty alright. Kofi, long time with the WWE. Rey Mysterio, a fucking veteran. They put on a pretty good showing out there. I like the match. Um, let's see right here. It says they come out and they take JBL and they come back and they take the money back from JBL, which I thought was pretty fucking hilarious too. They're like, you don't deserve that. You don't deserve that. Give us back our money, you chump. Um, what was it? Kofi. He was wearing some jeans and some Nikes. Pretty good look for him. I liked the black jeans, really changing up the attire, to make them more heelish, Um, a pretty cool, I mean, a great Hurricanrana counter, from a 619 dodge. Um, what was it? Kofi does like a 619 dodge. He goes turnbuckle, and he like kind of like does this flip over thing through the turnbuckle, which I thought was pretty nice. Um, he goes for an attempted power bomb, and then on the outside, they fight to the outside after that turnbuckle spot. One thing that I noticed that I don't know if anybody else notices, but this could just be bothering me and only me. But this whole show, not this whole show, but for two of the matches, I noticed when they went to go for the slamming, like of the face onto like the turnbuckle, the metal stair, or the steel stairs, or the um announcer table, I noticed when they went to go slam them, they were the person who was being slammed. They immediately were like, boom, throwing their hand. And I know that I know why they're doing this. It's for the effect, it's for the protection, and it's for the sound to make it louder. Right? It's supposed to make it more dangerous, but it's a little too obvious for my own viewing, and I feel like other fans, like if you're into this wrestling as much as you notice little things, you notice the smaller botches, you notice the smaller minute details when someone looks like a little jostled for a moment and they don't know what they're doing, or they look a little discombobulated and confused. And in this moment, when Rey Mysterio was slamming Kofi on the steel steps, a very noticeable hand in front of the face slamming, and honestly it wasn't too bad, it wasn't egregious, but I feel like maybe tone it down just a slight bit, maybe like I'm not a professional wrestler, but I mean I would at least maybe like have my hand a little more limp, maybe because he had his hand like that while he was going down, very maybe if his hand was kind of like limp and it was dragging down. I'm not too sure how he could have made that look a little more realistic, but just food for thought. Food for thought. Let's see. Yeah, that's what I wrote down. Xavier distracts the ref. The ref throws him out. Not distracts the ref. The ref, he grabs Rey Mysterio. And then the ref notices. And the ref is like, "You get out of here! I'll fuck out my ring, Xavier. Look at here, bro." Um, and then let's see, a pretty cool sequence of counters after that little throw out of Xavier Woods. They do like a little back and forth sequence between Rey and Kofi of counters. And then before the end of the match, something I never seen before, Kofi goes for a top rope crossbody, but Rey Mysterio takes it the reversed way. So instead of facing Kofi and taking it like that, he instead is reversed and takes it on his back. Takes the crossbody on his back. I thought that was kind of interesting. Um, let's see, kick out, interfering. Another 619, and then Rey gets a sneaky counter pin on Kofi Kingston. Rey Mysterio wins. Then it starts an attack. The New Day start to attack Rey Mysterio. That calls for the LWO to come out, and they have like a little bit of a scuffle. My favorite part of that whole little brawl segment between them was when Kofi and Xavier go. They run out. They run through the crowd and they go to like look like they're leaving, but instead they veer over to the other corner of the stands and immediately start fucking up the LWO, just pull them bitches out and start beating their ass. That was awesome. That was a really good little counter diversion to the typical shit you see when they do that kind of stuff. Um, American Made Best Day segment. They say they're gonna go talk to Dom or get something from Dom. Just a very typical American-made promo, nothing too special. Chad Gable, he's been around for a good while. You know, what I mean, I like the work he's doing. Um, then the rest of the team of American Made just say like, "Oh, I'm gonna get the women's Intercontinental title," and the other two fucking guys are like, "I'm gonna get the tag team titles, and we're gonna get gold again." And then no basic backstage segment between those two. Then Sami Zayn comes out. Whoa, 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 whoa. Sami Zayn. He announces that he is going to be in the Royal Rumble. He says, "I've had a great career. This has been, the best times of my life. You know what I mean? I don't feel like I need a championship, but I want a championship." So now now he's going for a title. What title exactly? Probably the one for the man who's about to come out. Dun, 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 dun. Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens makes his way out with that fucking beautiful, beautiful, beautiful winged eagle title. That's very they just fucking keep that, honestly. Like, this is probably the best like way to like have both titles of those kind of on the same shit. Kevin Owens cuts a excellent emotional promo saying that, we've accomplished so much. We've been best friends. We've been rivals. We've conquered some of our greatest foes together. You were there for me, and we fought so many times. And then one thing, I really don't know what to expect from this, man. I thought we kind of got a lot of the big picture with this whole thing with Brody, Roman, Cody, and all this stuff. But it really just seems to have be this constant whirlwind of we're adding people. This is gonna be even more unpredictable than we thought. Um, so they come out and like I said, he cuts his very emotional promo, saying that he really wants to do this whole main event thing with Sami Zayn. He wants to have this dream where the two of them main event WrestleMania for the title, which I feel like that's really fucking cool. Kevin Owens came out in a very nice Bret Hart ensemble. He had a Bret Hart jacket on, which I thought was a nice little touch. He tells Sami Zayn, "Yeah, man," he's like, "You were there for Roman when he needed his help, and I hope you'll have mine back and be there for me when I need it." Insinuating, insinuating to Sammy, "You better come out and help me against my match against Cody Rhodes." Honestly, that's a heavy thing to put on Sammy, especially what happened at the end of the night, and we'll get to that. But this is it's very unpredictable at this point, man. What the fuck's gonna happen? Because I feel like it can go anywhere. Like, this is very hard to say, because I think when it comes to the way they have the whole thing set up with Cody and then Kevin Owens. But then there's also the whole lingering in the background of Roman being there, wanting his title back. Now that he's got the Ulafala back, he wants, to be at the top again. He doesn't care who it is, and it's very hard to say. And I'm loving that. You can't fucking predict any of the shit that's gonna happen. I think that maybe Sammy does come out and help Kevin. Maybe it leads to something else. Like, something that I really would be interesting into seeing would maybe be like, imagine a heel Cody Rhodes, heel Cody Rhodes versus a super over babyface Sami Zayn for a title. That's also another possibility if they don't go for the Kevin and Sammy route. If that storyline, in the way that they're projecting it to go, does not pan the way that they both want it to. So it's very hard to say. I'm really liking it though. There's no easy direction. Um, Sheamus backstage segment with Braun Breaker. Sheamus talks about how the Intercontinental Championship is the one title that's eluded him his whole career. I came into WWE 6 months to win my first world champion against John Cena. How many men can do that, or whatever the fuck he said. Um, I thought it was pretty good, pretty good. They have a little shoving, not even a little shoving match. Sheamus shoves Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker just goes back laughing like the badass he is. And coming up on Saturday night's main event, I think Braun retains. I think Braun keeps the title. I love Sheamus. I really like Sheamus. I think he's super badass. Banger after banger after banger. Um, he he's kind of getting old, like a Braun. Braun says, "I'm gonna break you like an old man. I'll break you like an old man." To Sheamus, right to his face. So I definitely see maybe this continuing a little bit longer. But I feel like maybe it might go into the way where we need another person to drop the title to Sheamus to get it, because I feel like we really need to keep Braun Breaker as strong as possible, keep him on top, keep him just completely obliterating people, um, and that can just stay the way it is, and maybe Sheamus can find something else to do. Nia versus Bailey. Um, I don't have too much written down here. I didn't really jot down too many notes. I wasn't paying too much attention, to be honest, to this Nia Bailey match. Um, Bailey gets a really cool sunset flip. Something. It was like, no, it was a sunset flip on the turnbuckle, which was really cool. Actually, that was actually pretty damn dope. And then I just have Nia wins, Bria comes out and beats the shit out of Nia. And we go back to backstage. We go back to the backstage area with American Made and the Judgment Day. So Chad Gable is asking Dom, he's like, "Hey man, man, I'm good for it. Just give me some help, man. I need the dark arts of Luchador, man." And so Dom, he helps him out. Dom gives him some help, because we all know that Chad Gable has had some fucked up issues with some luchadors in the past. So we're gonna see where that goes. Then a very cool Martin Luther King tribute, which was nice. After the MLK tribute, we got a Sammy and Seth backstage segment. Sammy is walking out. I believe he's walking out after his whole little thing, or somebody they're walking around, and then Seth is like, "Yeah, that's the fire. That's exactly what I wanted to see in you. Keep that good shit up. You're gonna. I want you to win the Rumble." Well, that's what Kevin Owens said, but yeah. Um, so we get that little segment. Then we get Penta. Penta. Hell yeah. I've been really excited about Penta's matches every week on Monday now, actually, since his debut. I really like Penta. I feel like there's so much cool shit they could do with him. Such a great move set. Um, there's some little things that could improve. Maybe the speed of the matches could be a little bit faster. Just how much they want to hype him up being, this fast, crazy, great luchador. Maybe speed the matches up a little bit with some more, not like the jumpy acrobatic shit that they do in the other shit, but just a little more eye-catching moves maybe, and a little more of a faster speed. Um, they do that. Butch, it's a Penta match versus Butch or Pete Dunne. Butch cuts a promo saying, "Quit calling me that. That's bullshit. Stop disrespecting me. I fought all over the world, not just to be called Butch." Um, then they start their match. Penta comes out. Um, One thing I thought that was really funny was during this match, Penta, he starts, doing his little La Parka walk, a little taunting, and then he immediately gets Pearl Harbored by Butch, just fucking side blasted. um, Butch goes for the fingers, tries to break them. You know what I mean? Tries to snap them shits in half. Penta pulls out the Mexican Destroyer. Butch, on one of his moves, he tries to tie the mask of Serpenta in the ropes, which he successfully does. Which is pretty smart move if you have the way to tie the shit like that to trap somebody. You should go for it. That's a pretty good attack on Butch's part. Um, like I said, Mexican Destroyer. We get a tope. We get the sacrifice, and then we get the Penta Driver, ending Butch's life in about a couple minutes. Pretty cool match. Like I said, I already got my gripes already at the first start of the segment. Maybe a little more faster, some flashier stuff. But overall, they're doing really good with Penta. Love it. Love the shit. Damage Control and Fusion have a match. Honestly, I was not paying attention. I went to go make food during this segment because I just didn't really care. Honestly, I didn't really care about the damage control match. Io Sky is awesome. Of course, she's fucking the genius of the sky, which I'll give her that one. And Dakota Kai is nice, I guess. I don't really know too much about her. I haven't watched a lot of her matches. But they put on an effort. Dakota Kai gets her ass beat most of the match, and then Io Sky comes up, saves it. Damage control wins. The fusion bitches are mad. Now it's time. The main event. Seth versus Drew WrestleMania rematch. Let's go. They start off the match with a cool little, knife edge chop exchange. They could probably do about 3 to 4. Just really, really tough each other out. They throw about 3 dives outwards to the ring. Drew catches Seth and he throws him over the announcer table. Very cool throw. I just love that he just caught him. Just like, bro, you fucking get over here. You're done. You're done. Um, let's see. Over the announcer table. Then they brawl out for a little bit. They get back into the ring. Seth tries to run at Drew. He gets his really cool counter to a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. Very, very beautiful tilt-a-whirl backbreaker on Drew's part. Very excellently performed. Let's look at these some more. Seth goes for the buckle bomb, or did he? I'm writing these just as I read them. See, Seth goes for turnbuckle. Drew counters with a kick. Alabama slam counter. Rollins and him go to the counter for a superplex. This is my gripes. This is where I want to talk a little bit more about some stuff. So I don't like the no selling of a superplex personally. I feel like especially for like maybe not even the mid card guys, it kind of lessens the impact of the move because when you're a big star like Drew and Seth and all those guys, you know what I mean, you can get away with that because it makes sense. You're a big star. You've been in big main event matches. You've battled some very strong opponents and have this endurance, right? Especially for someone like Drew. He was a couple months ago that grueling match with him and CM Punk in the cell. So the superplex in kayfabe, the superplex shouldn't be as bad, right? That's why he can able to no sell immediately get up into the, as I say, the Michinoku driver. He counters it into a Michinoku driver. Drew does. So that's what I'm thinking. In kayfabe, the move is no sold because Drew has had much stronger opponents. He faced that grueling match with CM Punk. Maybe, you know what I mean? In context to all those other things, the superplex is not as bad because Drew's a big motherfucker, so he's fucking huge. He's goddamn enormous. So, in theory, not in theory, but in kayfabe, yeah, the superplex wouldn't be much because of how big he is and how much he's been able to endure. But on the actual wrestling side, that's like a move that should like just have you out for a little bit. Like he no sold it, got up, Michinoku driver. You know what I mean? It wasn't even like got down and then 1, 2, 3 seconds went by and then he got up. It was immediate. So that I wasn't too hot about that one. Okay, then they go for a few counters. Future Shock DDT counter, then a pedigree from Seth. Gets him into a jackknife cover onto Drew. 1, 2, 3. Drew is done. Drew gets pinned. Immediately starts beating the shit out of Seth. He is not hype that he has lost to Seth. So they brawl for a little bit. Then out comes Sammy again. Whoa, ho, ho, ho. He comes out again, attempts to save the day. He's looking like Captain Planet. He's about to save everybody. But then, nope. That does not happen. Drew gets Seth into the corner turnbuckle. Sammy tries running over to Haluva kick. Drew is able to get out of the way in time. Bam. Kick right to the face of Seth Franklin Rollins. He is done. I thought that was pretty good. I thought the whole fucking match was pretty damn fun. That was a very crazy finish to have. I honestly was not expecting that. I was kind of actually expecting them to fight each other off, both of them to fight Drew off, and then to be like them buddy buddy fist bump shield fist, you know. But no, that's not what happened. Kind of subverted what I thought would have happened, and we get a very cool little you know fade away with Drew and Sammy. He's like, "We're on the same page, man, right? We're on the same page. It was an accident." And then Drew and Seth is just not having none of it. Drew's smiling his ass off as he walks away, looking all satisfied that this shit just happened. It was fucking nuts. It was a good showing. Overall a good show, honestly. I feel there were some little parts that for at least me, not you, for me, were a little boring. The Nia Jax whole shit, I don't really care too much about, honestly. I think maybe we need Rhea to find a better opponent, but really, who else is there? The girls who were fighting the damage control, the fusion girls, they're not they're very mid card. You know what I mean? So we gotta build somebody up, or even bring Jordan Grace over as a possible future opponent for Rhea Ripley, um, and we can see where that goes. But as of right now, it's kind of a dead end with Rhea with her opponents, at least because they're just recycling the opponents now. Um, and I just want to see something more progress with that. Um, but yeah, overall, good show. I liked it, and I'm really excited to see what happens next week. This is actually, must see TV. This is like I gotta see what happens next week. I gotta tune in. I gotta tune in next week, and this is actually some really good stuff they've been putting on in years. So I'm definitely gonna be tuning in next week and seeing what happens. And yeah, that's the end of the video.